Hello and welcome to another $2 movie review. Today we are checking out Mulan, which is part of the Storytime collection. As you can see, it's $2. It does not say anything at all about who directed it, whose voices are in it. Also, I must add that the blurb on the back of this DVD is completely awful. If you want to see what it says on it, please check out my Instagram. Let's check it out and see just how bad it is, or maybe good. We don't know. Let's find out.
Mulan!
Oh, Mulan! Mulan! Yes, it is I, family. Mulan.
Alright, I am back from spending 50 minutes watching this bad film. It's not like completely awful, but it's also not so bad that it's good. Honestly, it's just plain boring bad.
Oh, Mukan, my thread. You have broken it. Naughty boy.
It's obvious that it was made to cash in on the 1998 Disney animated film, also called Mulan. They clearly put no effort into the entire film.
You should know that by now.
And it really shows, especially in the plot. So just to keep it quick and simple, a girl disguises herself as a man to fight in the Chinese army. If you've read the blurb, the end of the blurb ends about 3 or 4 minutes before the end of the film. And those next 3 or 4 minutes, you can definitely guess what would happen. There is no surprises. A film like this that should have very high stakes since it involves war would have some great character choices which could lead to some interesting surprises. However, since this was made to cash in on a film, no one put any effort into it at all. There's barely any choices. Literally, they're just dragged to plot point 1 and then plot point 2, and they just get dragged all the way to the end. You know what's going to happen. The biggest choice of all is her choosing to disguise herself as a man. That's like the premise of the film, so that's not, I wouldn't call that a real character choice. You've got these really interesting characters, can be fleshed out even in 50 minutes. There's no doubt that you can't do that. I'm highlighting why story matters so much, because in a film like this, if you have a boring plot, people are going to notice how bad every other aspect of the film is, because there is nothing interesting about the characters and story. If you were able to make a very interesting story, it doesn't have to be complex, something that would get the audience to invest in the characters, you could get away with some of these really awful elements of the production which this film had. For example, they had some really awful accents. To be honest, you probably won't get away with that at all.
Oh, beloved family, my friend, Mulan saved my life. My life.
A little bit racist, I think. And then there was just these really awful animation decisions, shadows that don't make sense, people in the background that are just completely frozen because no one could be bothered animating them. And then just all these other weird things that don't make sense, characters moving towards the camera but getting smaller, smoke that's not moving but clouds are, and also the music is just very repetitive, because a film like this, don't spend a lot of money on music and use what they have, which is not much, a lot. If you've got a good story, people are less likely to notice these things. If you have good animation, good like production value, but bad story, people will notice that it has a bad story. You can't get away with bad both. But if you have to make a choice and could only choose between a good story and a good production, a good story would hopefully distract the audience from some elements of the bad production. So that's, I guess, my advice. It feels weird ending this video on a bit of advice on making a film. I reckon there's always a good lesson in a bad movie. If you want to choose between story and production, make sure the story is perfect. Don't worry about the production. Don't worry about that part too much. That's been Mulan. Don't spend $2 on it. Don't spend $1. Don't even watch it for free, honestly. Don't waste your time. I kind of regret spending 50 minutes on that. It was very plain. I have a feeling a lot of these $2 movies are bad, but very plain and boring. I want something that is really, really bad. And I think I have a good one next. I don't know. Just subscribe and I'll have a new video coming out soon. Bye.